Away, gents.
Away.
What up, Buffett?
When Vue is laughing, you know.
Yeah, it's about time.
You know it's gonna
about
be a
time.
bit rough.
Yeah, I have to laugh. a bit.
So
But
I
today-
just had a thought.
Yeah.
Gender equality
Mm.
sounds nice, Joe. It sounds like the right thing for us to be striving for.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Is it really the right thing for us to be striving for? Are men and women really supposed to be equal?
I'm fun.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Men and women, we are all equally humans.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I mean, we are all equally human, but are we really supposed to be equal?
Yeah. Ish.
Okay,
Biblically-
let me just clarify what I mean by
What
are
do
we
you
really
mean? Yeah,
supposed to
'cause
be
imagine
equal?
the question is very
Under
very-
the eyes of the law, definitely, because
Yeah.
we are all human. And it's
Yeah, true.
Definitely.
respect-wise, definitely, everyone
Sure.
has to be respected.
No questions.
Yazin, don't treat people the way you don't want to be treated when are yourself.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
sure.
Let's go to the workplace now. Does it really make sense for us to be equal in the workplace?
In terms of
Yeah,
what?
Like in sports, are we supposed to be equal?
Yeah.
Because I was listening to I
In
was
terms
listening
of
to-
what? In terms of what? When
Okay,
you say
babe.
equal in terms of gender or like our skills.
Okay. Nice
Yeah.
scenario. I was listening to a captain of the American soccer team,
Okay.
national soccer team,
Yeah.
and those guys were complaining, Uguti, they are not getting paid as much as the
the-
men's
yes, yeah,
soccer
yeah.
team.
Sure.
And I was like, are they supposed to get paid the same amount?
Okay.
I'd say okay, fine. They were supposed to. It makes sense for them, like everyone, to get paid the same amount. But what drives income is also activity. You know what I mean? So I feel
Yeah.
like most tournaments,
I mean,
if we like, let's just take it locally, for
Yeah.
example, most tournaments, like your sponsors are Netbank, your sponsors are Netbank, Netbank Cup, Telcom Cup, and all those kind of things. Those
Yeah,
guys are only coming because everyone is also there.
Sure.
So I feel like
Yes.
in a women's league, if everyone was also coming there to watch women, you'd have sponsors, and then they would actually get paid more.
Yeah, because I was watching a
Definitely.
game.
Yeah.
I was watching the women's game on Sunday. I was watching Mamelodi Sundowns, the women's
The
team.
women's team.
yeah.
They're playing against some other team. Game was slow.
It was
You
slow.
see,
It
so
was
that's
Yeah.
another
slow.
thing. That's another thing. Physically, they can compete with each other,
But not
but
with
not
us,
with
Joe.
us.
Yeah.
You know, because
okay.
it's not that I'm not saying Uti born are they in inequity
Unequal.
Yeah, when it comes to playing soccer,
Physical stuff.
yeah, physical stuff, we are there, you know. And I'm not saying other women cannot perform as much as we do, but we should like Sbusiso just said. Oh, by the way, it's no Sbusiso today.
Oh.
I even forgot. Yeah, I even forgot to
I mean,
introduce the
Timanja, we were
guy.
just talking before the episode.
The
Yeah,
conversation is so nice. It's
You
so
know,
deep.
so
really.
just like what Sbusiso said,
Mhm.
what drives income basically are
Mhm.
sponsors.
Mm.
So if Tina siyasuka la iDavidson Sambe siyobukela iPirates
Mm.
neChiefs eSoweto,
Mm.
and then would we do the same for women?
Yeah,
Before would we?
Mm.
Are women watching women's soccer?
That's yeah.
That's another
Are they
That's
even
also-
interested in this thing?
Yeah, that's No.
But it's not only on
That's
soccer. Let's also are men playing netball? Do men play netball?
Not that I know
You see,
of, Joe. I
I
So
don't know.
basically,
see.
as well as we compare women who play netball with
Mm.
men who play netball to end equally, because it's okay.
It's primarily a women's
it's
sport.
a women's sport. So
Okay.
women are, or I'd say generally, they have to be paid more than the dudes who play in netball. You know,
Okay.
not because of Eastern Sabo here,
Mm.
but this is
Demand
predominantly,
for
yeah, it's
Predominantly. Okay, I know
predominantly
it
for
makes
women.
sense. Makes
you know,
sense.
And I'm not saying soccer is not like I don't want to discriminate women about the This is simple. We've been playing soccer for centuries and years, you know, and women have had their thing at that
Sure.
time. So if women are willing to support women, then why not?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense, Mauricio Ganjalo, but Mina, I was asking for these other sports that, I mean, okay, no hate to netball, but it's not as big as soccer or rugby.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
So people don't actually like watch it that much. Like you were
I was
saying,
also
like,
listening
even
to-
the women themselves.
They don't watch
They
women's
don't
soccer.
watch.
Yeah.
I mean, even women that I know enjoy watching soccer. They watch Chiefs and the Pirates. I mean,
Because it's entertaining.
yeah.
And I'm
more
not
than
saying-
women's soccer.
Yeah, more than simply because of all color it pays how they play the soccer,
the skill.
the skill.
Yeah.
I'm not saying some women are not skillful, but bakhona are skillful.
But
obviously, there's a few.
on an average.
On an average.
basis,
Can I
men
ask
are-
something? I
Yeah.
know we're talking about sports now at workplace. I want to take it now to relationships, like gender roles and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think it's also like, Angaz, is it a guy thing to, for example, be the one to text like the first, or is it a girl thing to text first, or do you think you should have like gender roles, or like is it a guy, for example, is it a guy thing to buy gifts all the time?
You
Is
see,
it a guy thing to give the woman money? You know what I
That's
mean?
one
Like
thing with
predominantly,
forward.
that's how we grew up saying, "What's
Yeah.
okay, timer must be the one giving the woman." But
Yeah.
is it really?
Remember, okay, can I say on our last two episodes we recorded.
Okay.
The first episode I think is episode 2. We were talking gender roles, and you know, we touched on the matter of fact. Tina, when we grow up, we are taught to provide for the woman, provide for your family. In fact, you know, and in most cases, if we trace it back to history, men would work. So it was in them to spoil their women. It was in them because they were the ones abasebenzayo, and women would be endlini, you know.
They had the money.
We had the money at the time, and we had the will. And then now, obviously, times have changed, and now women earn as much as men, and some women are obviously a CEO and stuff. But now, it always comes to Guti, even if the woman earns more money than the dude, to them, in their mind, subconsciously, it still states Guti as a man should provide. So that's why you'll find in social media platforms Guti, Guti, a man, ndoda, imali ndoda, okay, a salary of a man is for the family,
and then
and
the
the
salary of
woman,
woman
it always comes to those conversations with manje, men, you know, and it makes them entitled to imali to manje. You know, Job was crusher even
And I think
the other day.
it's very hypocritical for them to do that. too.
Like,
You think so?
That's why
It is.
for women to
For
think
women
that,
to do that, yeah.
But also, like I
You
feel
can't
like also,
complain that you are getting paid more, yet you are expected to do more. And
Yeah.
if I get more money, okay, if we get the same amount of money,
Mm.
we are supposed to spend. Our responsibilities way towards spending has to be the same.
the
as well.
same. True,
Yeah.
true.
Sure.
So you can't cry this side and ngapha.
You know, and it questions a lot of things. Job man just kuluma ngale zinto lezi. Nale there was this post I saw on Facebook, the intlawulo one.
Yeah.
Ukuthi,
I
why
don't
does a man have to pay intlawulo when we agreed ukuthi we're gonna do this?
Oh yeah, true,
You
true,
know,
true. Yeah,
and
yeah.
why? Okay, as
Yeah.
much as even if we're getting married,
Yeah.
we always have to pay ilobola.
Ilobola,
You know
yeah.
why?
Yeah,
But if you trace back history yakon, obviously when at that time when you get married, obviously bowuthathwa from, let's say, probably a family enenkomo,
Sure,
right? To compensate for ukuthatha wena, they
sure.
would give a gift. You know, now I understand it as a gift to the family.
Oh, a
But
gift to the family. Okay.
I think I understand it from
At,
that.
at some point,
Manje-
I mean, the way I understand it, when you say it's a gift, I understand it. I think growing up now has made me realize it's more than just a gift. It's a way of you showing off in a way that you are gonna be able to
Yeah,
provide
yeah,
for the.
yeah.
It takes us back to the providing thing. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Because if you look at, let's move away from our culture. If you look at like other culture, like Indian culture.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was telling me, I had an Indian friend, and he was telling me in their culture you have to buy jewelry, and that jewelry, you might not necessarily be someone who itanda jewelry as a gift or something, but you want to show off to the family that, guys,
I can do this.
I can do this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Me buying jewelry of 30,000 means I can take care of your child,
Sure.
basically.
Yeah.
Sure.
So now, when you leave there with their child and ubashiyela jewelry, they thinking, oh, jewelry ngaka, that means
This
our
guy
child is fine.
capable.
Yeah.
so it's the same in our culture. When you leave cows, it's like, okay, if this guy
So
can
imagine, so
give
okay, yeah.
cows,
Yeah, but now that to me says expectation culturally is
Yeah.
still that you
You
the
have to
man are going
provide.
to take care.
have to
Yeah.
provide.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the
So
question-
you
the
are supposed to take care of her.
Question before we continue, because I think this conversation is nice. You know, so much when the roles are reversed now. Let's say I meet a lady, she has more money than me. So would you, or would the society allow the woman to pay Ilondole the because she has money and she can provide?
True.
Would my family allow the
First
woman to
thing-
pay
First thing,
ilobola game?
ama-gents azokubiza ngosibar makoti.
Ace Barmaku. Yeah.
That's the first thing that's gonna happen. G.
Mm.
So,
I think the family wouldn't allow it because their image is gonna be like.
but why?
bad
But
in a
why
way.
does it have to
What does image have anything to do
to
with
do
it?
with providing?
Yeah, but
It's
actually,
not
you know,
supposed to.
it-
But the reality is,
Mm.
it is the case with Vele.
I feel like your family, like you're saying, you've got a woman that has money now, right?
Yeah.
Your family would be like low key would be willing to take the money if global,
Because it's money.
but if now you're gonna go out there and say like neighbors are knowing good to now someone paid,
and
that's when they would like be like, no, by the way, I see funny mad so about you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like when it comes to money, people would like families would allow for like guys
Women.
by a woman who has money.
Yeah.
But the fact that it makes them sissy sharp.
But this paying thing, I think it becomes a problem because now later on you get questions like, who wears the pants in the house?
Yeah, that's why.
Do we actually have to have one person wearing the pants?
No.
Yeah, you don't need one person wearing the
That's
pants.
why
As long as
why don't we just distribute some responsibilities?
Yeah.
When are you? This is where you wear the pants. Here, I wear the pants in this department.
So
besides wearing pants,
yeah,
like besides you having departments, I feel like it's like boni in a way. Like, what do you think? What do I think?
Sure.
Right now,
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like most people, most guys especially, like when they wear the pants in the house, even their decision making is questionable. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like to find is wearing the pants, but they're not wearing them properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we are shoti pandanyana, you know what I mean? We are born to know no one should come after 8 in this house. But no 10. You know what I mean? So it's questionable. You're wearing the pants, but you're not wearing them properly.
Yeah, now you're taking advantage of the whole thing.
Yeah, you're taking advantage, because
that's why it comes with it dominance. The moment you provide one, you feel like you're entitled to everyone now. So it's what in most households.
So we are no longer a team.
We're no longer a team. I'm the one who pays bills. I'm the one who pays electricity. You can't tell me shit. That's basically what most men do.
When you talk about that, something just comes up in my mind, which maybe that is why when guys lose jobs, depression strikes.
Yeah, because they lose their manhood was based on them providing. Now that they can't provide, they're no longer a man in a way.
And imagine on our last episode we were talking with the software update.
You have to update that
the software, man. Because let's say like the question with the woman has more money than me. Towards me if she wants to pay lobola for me, like would I even accept the money? Comes to that, because at the end of the day, if I want to have a say in this household or in this relationship, because I cannot tell you what to spend your money on. If I say baby garage next fixing, and she says you'll have to pay for it, and knowing very well what I don't have enough money at that point, you see it that's why depression, and most men don't talk. They end up killing themselves.
Yeah, they do.
But gents, my question still stands. I mean, what we've said so far just puts a stamp on the fact that men and women are not the same, and they don't respond the same to situations.
Yeah.
Like for instance, when a woman loses their job, it doesn't hit as hard as a man losing their job. So my question still is, are we then supposed to be looked at as equals?
That's it.
Not are we supposed to be looked at as equals, as opposed to one is bigger than the other.
Yeah.
But are we really supposed to be treated the same?
Yeah, I think we're not supposed to be treated the same. And the reason I'm saying that is because even nature doesn't allow men and women to be equal. The reason why I'm saying that is, if you look at a woman, right? A woman has breasts so that they can breastfeed.
Sure.
Right? So already, when a child is involved in like that relationship, the woman has to feed, right? Breastfeed. So when it comes to opportunities of mhlambe you're gonna work, the woman would be able to do mhlambe a job better than a man, but because she has to breastfeed and be at home with the woman, the child,
compromises the whole thing.
Compromises her naturally, so she's not able to go out there mhlambe ayofunda or something like that. For example, now you just had a child, you can't go like varsity and study because you have to breastfeed. You know what I mean? Whereas you just fine, you just out there are able to go and study. You know what I mean? So I feel like nature also puts Ngatini this unequal position. Even in animals, it does exist. Lions go out there and
it's
hunt.
The woman, actually, it's the lioness that goes and hunt.
Oh, it's the lion. Oh,
it's the lioness that goes and hunt, and then the man stays with
with the kids.
Yeah,
there's normally one man around the whole area.
Obviously,
just the territory. The job of the man is to claim the territory.
and then the
To
woman
say,
goes
this is
out
my
there.
place,
Yeah.
I'm roaring,
Just
this is my
now,
house.
This is interesting.
All
Just
the
imagine
women
how
hunt.
if this was applicable to humans, ukuthi the man is supposed to cut the indlu, and then the woman is supposed to go out there. And then it goes back to
But
It's a
it
title.
wouldn't work because, I mean, physically as a species, hunting is more suitable for men in our species.
Yeah.
True.
Unlike
physically,
for these
physically.
other animals. I mean, lionesses will harm you as much as the male lion would harm you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So
I
nje-
fun.
but manje, when it comes to that, nje, it's another story. You know? It's really another story because manje, whenever we talk about the animal kingdom, animal
Sure.
kingdom has a mind of its own.
Yeah, and I think these comparisons are not fair.
Yeah, it has a mind
They are
of its
not
own,
fair.
and the behavior tells you, which as in, this is how animals behave.
Sure.
And manje, there are other things being as quota, but obviously,
They don't apply as much to
young
humans.
conscious
yeah.
at some point could play.
We,
It
we
plays.
didn't evolve in the same way.
Yeah, and the most evolved than thinking we are advanced. Actually, we are more wayward. We are backwards more than the way secreting are
Mm.
I think that's my opinion. Because
I don't
manje, there are a
know.
lot of things this is notice.
I don't know. I mean, this is what I think. In fact, I think equal is a very bad word because it implies that unequal. I mean, unequal then implies that one is
greater than
more preferred to the other.
Yeah,
I think
True,
what
true.
different is a better word.
we are different.
Yeah.
Different. Okay,
We are
now
different
that's-
species.
We are equal under the eyes of the law, and we should. That's the
should.
right thing.
Yeah.
It's the right thing, Joe. We should be equal, but we are not the same.
Yeah, no.
But
yeah.
now, a question I'm eating: how does us not being the same apply to real life and treating of each gender?
deep.
It's really deep, but like
deep.
it does because.
And it becomes
Yeah.
more of a problem the more the types of jobs that we do become the same, because there was no question about it. Max say construction might say the job, because I mean it's more suited to us because it's physical.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah.
But the
physical,
more
yeah.
jobs need you to think. We need to think about these questions, Joe, more
mm.
critically
because
as a generation.
and manje, let's say manje we have kids.
Sure.
You know, those kids obviously need to understand ukuthi this is the type of environment this okhula kuyo.
Sure.
I mean, I'm from that environment. Obviously, things were done differently.
Mhm.
You know, even prior, even our parents had their own experiences and their
Sure.
own struggles. See, now we have our own struggles now.
Sure.
Like, let's focus ku. You know,
Mm.
so nje, that's why we do need a system update, software update. We still do need it.
A software update.
We do need the
Yeah,
software
let's just
update.
update
Let
how
me
we
just
think
ask
about
something.
these
I feel
things.
like you guys, we've been talking about a lot of things, right?
Sure.
Now I want to take it to what you call relationships. We haven't been talking much about it, but I just want to get an update. When you are, this is just now me just like asking a general question. Is
Sure.
it necessary when you're in a relationship with someone to be talking every day to validate that relationship? Like, do you need to talk to your partner
I
every
think
day?
it depends, Joe.
On what though?
It depends on what you're doing with your life at that point in time.
Mhm. So would you say you get so busy that you can't even talk every day to that someone when you say it
But
depends?
now,
I mean, Okay, I also think it depends, Uguti, how much time a day are we talking about here?
yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean we can talk nje
Mm-hmm.
less than an hour throughout the day. We can just chop that hour
Yeah.
throughout the day just to check up which everything is fine.
Mm.
But I slightly on call for 2 hours
Yeah,
every day.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's-
True,
reasonable.
true. So you, in other words, you are saying it's not necessary for people in a relationship to talk every day.
I mean, to talk. No.
It doesn't necessarily mean like let's ignore
Check up on
time.
me.
Check up on me.
Check
But
up
now,
on me every day.
let's
That would be nice.
Okay, I
Mara
have-
talk serious stuff
That's-
every
that-
day.
that's
Nah.
another
Not
thing.
necessarily talk, but like daily, keep that daily contact, despite of time. Whether
I
you're
think
doing
it
for
is.
1 minute or
I think
10
it-
minutes or an
Let's
hour.
I think it's necessary.
But now,
It's
Maj,
necessary.
we have to take into consideration, Guti, what did I want to say? Guti, in most cases, you can check up on me, and then to Guti now the other dude is free, and then he
Mhm.
starts
Sure.
entertaining other women,
Mm-hmm.
and then that leads to
Yeah.
so many
The
problems.
problem is
You know, because Manje, in most cases, we humans,
Mm-hmm.
we need that constant validation,
Oh,
especially
okay.
from our partners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not saying we should talk every day,
Mm-hmm.
but the moment you are free, towards you go free, obviously you're gonna talk to someone else.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I see. I
we,
see.
we have friends, you know, you
Okay,
talk, and
So
then
like timetables kind of like clash. Good,
Mina,
when
this
you
is-
are free,
because
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
when
yeah,
I'm
maybe that could be a
free,
problem.
and then-
But Mina, I have a problem with. Okay, Mina, the reason why I would say I could understand if we are not talking every day is if we
Yeah.
are really busy.
yeah.
But now, if you have time to talk to other people, that means you're not as busy, Mos.
Yeah,
You-
true.
that's the thing with timetable late. Let's say, man, today we are busy.
Sure,
We are recording the podcast.
sure,
You know, someone there is busy.
sure.
You know, they want to talk, and but you're unavailable. You're busy.
So you're saying the moment you're not talking every day, it kind of like kills the relationship. or
Yeah,
the spark dies in a way.
At
some
Which is
point.
also-
I mean, I think relationships feed on attention.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I think
So
that's what I
basically,
think.
that's why in most cases I think they work better. Man, need to
I mean, even
because we see
friendships.
each other, even if as phone kulum.
Mm.
Sure.
We
But
see each other.
Even
Yeah,
friendships, you are closer because you talk more often.
Yeah, ngithola.
Yeah, now that you're touching friendship, actually, I'm trying to compare the relationship now
With a friendship.
with the friendship because
More
you're
like
saying
that.
relationships feed on attention.
Sure.
More
But
like that.
I've been in situations whereby, let's say somewhere in high school, you were like best buddies with someone, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Sure.
Because you saw each other 5 days a week, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
And then now you've grown, you know, you have a job and stuff.
yeah.
When you meet that person, are you supposed to like, I don't know, reignite, you know, that spark that you had in
It's
high
No.
school?
different.
Like,
man,
I
because
feel
No.
like, I feel like reason why, let me just ask, reason why I'm saying that is because I was of the opinion that, you know, we can be friends, ne?
Yeah.
But we don't need to talk every day for us to validate our,
Our
friendship.
friendship.
Like I don't need
Yeah,
to
I'm
talk
sorry.
to you. Just we can spend like 2 months of not talking
Okay.
to each other, but the moment something is wrong in your life or you
Yeah.
need help, I'm here.
This is
Definitely.
where I think the two differ.
Mm.
With friendships, okay.
Yeah.
Firstly, with relationships,
Mm.
Mhm.
I think kule ages guyo, most of us are trying to strive for the longest term possible
Yeah.
because we want to spend your whole life potentially with that person.
With that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah.
I don't think it's true for friendships, right?
Yeah.
So we don't need.
We don't
so,
really have to be friends
talk every
forever and
day.
ever and ever.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
in a friendship basis, we can be tight even though we don't talk like in 2
Def-
months.
Sure.
Thing is now
In
with
a
it-
relationship, you can't do.
with friends.
I don't know why, but yes.
Yeah, with friends. I think
crazy.
with friends it comes with the understanding. With there's no spurupis, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sbusiso busy.
Mhm.
Sometimes we say Cape Town. I'm
Mhm.
like, hey, Spuru say Cape Town. I'd give you a call. It was
Mm.
grand. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
You know, just to check up on you.
Mm.
If I have a problem, hey, Spuru, I'm fit to born. I have a
Mm.
problem. Can you assist me with this?
I'll come
If Spuru
running.
can't, you know, if he can, definitely he will.
Sure.
And
Mhm.
obviously, I'll appreciate that. And
Mm.
at the moment he is available, Namsa available, we can always do something, you know. And then and it's always that life update. Hey,
Sure.
brother, how have you been doing? You know,
Sure.
emotionally, financially,
Mm.
But
career wise.
I wanna. Okay, I think I'm trying to figure out why it's not the same for relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships, typically it's acceptable for you to only have one partner.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Friendships are
Bachita babayo.
Yeah,
and I think
Vuya ke
friendships
yakho.
have
Yeah.
adjusted
No.
themselves to
Mm.
that structure. ukuthi, Okay, I have 5 friends.
Mm.
I mean, I'm friends with Vuyo, but I understand we are not gonna talk every
Every
day.
day.
We are sometimes not even gonna talk every week.
Mm.
You know? But with relationships,
Mm.
when you're not talking to me, who are you talking to?
Yes,
That becomes the
See,
question.
That becomes the question.
That's why you should manage. It's always it feeds on attention.
Sure.
The moment no kulum nam, who
Mm.
you talking to? That's the question that rises in
Yeah.
women's to like,
Mm,
you know.
mm.
So it
Because there
becomes
only has to be
questionable.
one of me.
So that replacement of you not talking to someone, like now I'm just looking at it, Uguti, like you're saying you have 5 friends, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
If we are you're gonna talk to this one. And
Sure.
Abachita, we find if let's say you needed help and you couldn't get it from me.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can. Yeah. You know.
And I'll be fine with that replacement.
Not
which you
only
went.
fine,
Mm.
maybe sometimes even relieved, which I
Yeah.
don't have to put.
Sure,
in
sure,
that
but
And
in
I
a-
think Enyen,
Yeah.
when you say attention,
Mhm.
when it attention yakon leads to understanding and growth yomuntu wakho.
Sure.
You know, both mentally and physically and emotionally.
Mhm.
So the more you guys talk,
Mhm.
you end up understanding some parts about when
Mhm.
and your partner. You
Mhm.
know,
Mm.
because manje, the moment you guys stop talking,
Mm.
obviously there are more sides that are reserved to you.
Mm,
That's why
okay.
usually most friendships they can never sustain a relationship standard because obviously we are friends.
Mhm.
There are things engeke ngizokhuluma nawo ngazo. As much as ezinye izinto ngikwazi ukukhuluma nawo ngazo,
Mhm.
but there are some things I cannot just talk to you about. You know, if
true,
I have
true.
problems in some ways,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better suited if unkuluma partner, especially when it comes to a relationship. You know,
But-
if you're in an emotional
Is it supposed to be like
maturity,
that? Though?
imagine now I come to you, I'm like, this is my girlfriend, this is emotional immaturity again, she behaves in this way. I'm becoming distant to Guye, other than putting address in a situation, baby.
Yeah, but I
Your
can give you
behavior.
advice on how to.
Yeah,
deal with it.
definitely you can, but you know, at some point I need it from the
Yeah.
from
At
the
the
horse's
end,
mouth.
Vele,
Yeah,
yeah,
it has to
yeah,
come from
yeah,
the horse's
yeah.
mouth. Which am I willing to change? If not, it's fine. When you can give me advice, I can take your advice. If she's not willing to change, then you know what's the point? What's the point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
man.
in a friendship basis now, doesn't it? I don't know, create a bit of jealousy in a way when we're talking about this whole replacement thing. We would see if I'm your best friend, Vuyone,
Yeah.
and I don't know, something is happening in your life. Let's say you're Lobola, for example, like,
Yeah.
and then you wanted advice, and then you couldn't get me, and then you go to someone else. Let's say you go to another guy,
Yeah.
and then boom, down like 6 months down the line, you're Lobola, and I didn't know. Doesn't it? How do I feel? I'm your best friend. I'm supposed to know.
Okay,
So it
for
was
me,
fine because I was not available.
Mafethu
at that.
mhlambe mina nge-snacks, it doesn't really scratch me anyway.
I feel like it would for me
Dwana.
because like if I'm your friend, if I'm a best friend, Joe, I'm not saying I need to, but I have a right to know what's happening into your life.
I get
the
what
moment,
you mean.
Yeah.
The moment something is going to be happening in your life and I don't know, I feel
Uzofonela.
replaced. I feel replaced
even
if
if
you
you
don't tell
you
me.
can go and uyolobola ngeke.
Yeah.
But the moment something goes wrong, lapho uzofonela mina and need me at that point, and I'm
Ah.
like, I don't even have a reference point. I don't know where this thing does.
It's
started.
blue tick you honestly. If you were
Mhlambe
to do
nge-alien,
Yeah.
the concept of best friends doesn't really doesn't
Well,
play.
so you would be fine if, for example, you're Lobola and I don't tell you. Basically, you would be fine.
Yeah.
Or let's say
it depends on
like we best friends now.
if friendship yethu kuphi.
Like we're best friends, like from like you're born a childhood, and then now you're Lobola, and then you don't tell me.
We talk frequently.
Yeah. Let's say
Yeah, we talk
we talk frequently.
I then go snacks. I would
Yeah,
obviously
wanna
have
go
to
take a
tell
You
journey.
see
you.
now.
But if we haven't spoken in 2 months,
Yeah, then
Joe, if
what's
I
the
forget
point?
to tell you, I mean, I forgot. Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes we can
okay.
invite to the step lapha or be the best man.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Hey,
most
yabona
people, what
na
most
yama
people
best
do.
man is another thing.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna
But-
choose?
but
Hey,
that's-
5 friends. Who are you gonna
5
choose?
friends,
to be
yeah.
the
To be
best
the
man?
best. But manje, isn't it that the white concept, white people concept,
Mm.
especially because Lantema best man, it comes with white wedding, right?
Mm.
In order for you to have a best man, it has to be a white wedding thing.
Yeah, but let's say if we are now when
Traditionally,
you are doing a wedding when man,
Yeah.
you are getting married to this other lady,
Yeah.
ne? And then niyogqoka amarogo amhlophe. Who are you gonna choose to be your best man, and what's the criteria?
Ish, man,
Ish,
it's
yeah,
another
but I
thing.
feel like with guys, we tend to like, let's say if like there's 5 friends in that circle.
Yeah.
Sure.
If they choose one as a best man, I don't think the other 4 guys would take it personally as much
Yeah,
as
yeah.
women would. Like
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
women, it's a
definitely.
big thing. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Definitely, but
if we
when
don't choose me as a best man,
You're
and
gonna
you
be
choose
there
someone,
eventually,
I'm gonna be there,
and you're gonna be part of the process.
Exactly.
Okay,
He knows
okay.
everything.
A woman would take it personally.
but when as the person who's getting married,
Mm.
how do you feel choosing one person over the other?
the other, yeah.
But
I
man,
mean,
ish,
I'd actually tell you guys that choose the end, my feet. You know what I mean? Like whoever wants to
to be a
whoever
best man.
feels
I
like
think
they
I
can
think that's the best way to do it.
choose the
Gents,
end. You know what
Seba
I mean?
let's
bit
sit
five-
down.
but
Who's the
forget
most
me.
responsible amongst
Yeah,
you?
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's get that
But you
person
know
to
your
be the
friends. You
best
know your friends as well. You know your
So
friends.
you choose, but
You
you
know
choose
your
a based
But
on.
I'd involve the gents in that discussion. With gents, this is how we are choosing the best man for my wedding.
Yeah, if
Sure.
you wanna
We-
fight, we can create a box. You
Mm.
guys can
Yeah,
fight.
let's just
For the-
discuss
The
it.
best man win.
Ubani ozobatakiwe. That one is definitely not gonna be the
Not
best.
gonna
Yeah,
be,
hey.
yeah. And then now we as Vuma got as in.
If
vele
uzimisele
ngizobe
ukumshaya,
ngita-
boy,
yeah, then
you are
You
not
can't
gonna
be
be
the
the
best
best
man.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But hey, with women,
Yeah, with
it's
women.
another
Is
thing.
it-
it's
that's the
another
thing.
thing. Women tend to like
Emotional
ignore.
attachment, Baba.
Besides, I feel like they tend to ignore their weak points when it comes to such. Like mhlawumbe uyazazi ukuthi uzobushaya on that day, but
Sure.
ufuna ukuba best lady. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you wanna ignore the fact that ngizobushaya, but you still wanna take that
And imagine
responsibility.
bagcina sebakhipha ama-security ke la.
Aish.
Hey, sir. Then it's now
Yeah.
it starts
Aish.
messing up the. You know, it's no longer about the wedding. It's now
messing
like
It's about
the
you
personal-
now, your
yeah.
personal
friendship, man.
conflicts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
So I mean, I feel like in most cases, like
so,
whoever has the capability to do it, like
but
she
our,
should do
but
it.
our initial lentole was talking about the difference between us and women.
We are all over the place. but
Yeah,
it's
the,
fine.
the difference
It's
between us and
okay.
women. You know?
Ah,
We tried in as the episode continues. We tried and identified our differences.
Sure.
And manje with the payment, salary wise,
Mm.
you know, it's there's still something that needs to be fixed there. And I'm not saying
think
so
so?
fix it
How?
in.
I don't think
though?
it's
You know,
gonna be fixed.
How though? How?
Because man, remember, statistically speaking, I don't know the stats, but I think above average women who earn more than men, they look down on men.
Yeah. Actually,
oh yeah,
actually,
that is actually true.
Rumor has it that when a man
Yeah.
dreams of having money, right? When he finally gets that money, he wants to empower his family, like woman and all those kind of things. But when a woman dreams of having money, she starts thinking, as in, I don't need a guy. Like rumor has it. I don't know what you guys think about that. Like,
Okay,
do you
this
think
is
it's
what
true?
I think.
Yeah.
I was listening to this other psychologist explain that concept of money and relationships and men and women. This guy is saying men generally date down.
Less than that.
Women generally date up.
So basically,
You see?
man has to be.
So
have
now
more
when
money.
the woman has more money than you, it becomes a problem. There's a friction in good relationship because she wants to date up. She wants someone who's
What's
gonna
happening
be
up? Let's try and-
status wise, boy. You have to have more status,
The
more
verbal,
financial, more
she needs a
financial
guy.
muscle.
Yeah.
Zonke le
So
winners
basically,
because-
you have to buy a boost my question that's plain. Baby, I want to go to
No,
Dubai.
even- but at the root of it, this is the thing. It goes back to the thing of man have to protect and provide. Even financially, you have to protect me. How are you protecting me if you are below?
But then
That's why they look up, not down.
Doesn't
Tina, that's our job. We look down because we can't protect someone who's above you.
Okay, but doesn't this looking up and looking down actually, I don't know, limit relationships?
It does.
Like
Yeah, because
I feel like
that's when you
you're
should-
single because you keep on looking up. Or
And
as a
they're
man,
looking
you're
up,
gonna
they're
be
looking
single
down.
Because
because
you keep on
looking down.
and there's
You know what I
nothing
mean?
down for you.
And you know, like you wouldn't know what actually your soulmate is someone who is up, but when are you looking down? And as a woman, like
But
you
I think what's in there's this theory by guy, who's this guy? Pierre Bourdieu. He's a sociologist. He said something with Tina, whatever we see here is in regards to our social ties. So the type of woman we date is basically the type of women who are in our environment. You know.
Okay.
So if we end the same, that's why if you look down, that's where you're gonna find your girlfriends. You know. And then if you happen to date or get married to one, you there. You know, because it's your your social environment. And then the moment you try and uplift, that's why you should, in order for you to start seeing difference, move away from that situation and see. You know, just at some point, just go go to a club and see and rest, figure and drink alcohol, drink your. You know, it's not expensive. Buy a shot, relax it up, your whiskey and whatnot, and see the type of lifestyle you have. Because the moment Tina, like us, the moment we have money like us, we think of move out a cars. But in most cases, before we move a cars, that's the psychology and the mindset that comes to each and every one of us, especially in our environment, because most of our thoughts and our ideas and whatever they come from the environment yet.
But I mean, I really beg to differ when it comes to like looking up and looking down, and you know this taking from your social like really ties. I feel like when it comes to relationships, hey, you know, whoever makes you like happy, you know what I mean, whether you're up or down, really you should be going for it.
But the question, Buddha, is what makes you happy? Who makes you happy? What type of a person
you have to
is
know
that?
yourself. Like when it comes to relationships, you have to know yourself.
Isn't
first
happiness
and
internal thing, bruh?
Yeah, that's where you have to know yourself. Like you need to know what makes you happy. Like if you know, for example, what makes me happy is music. Then whoever takes that bone, you know what I mean, has to now, you know, be there with you. You know what I mean, regardless of.
But you cannot just look at one criteria and be like, as in, I'm gonna be happy with this woman. Because she can love music, but she can be toxic to you as well.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you have to take into account so many factors.
It's that 80-20 rule in a way.
I imagine we are thinking when you choose a partner now. I think we are at that age, gents. It's I think it's slowly coming to an end.
It's coming to an end, but
so you must not think about Usbura in the next 5 years only. But
your lifetime.
how long are you gonna live? Think about that. Because eventually that's where it's going.
And most people
what
don't
kind
actually
of a parent do you want for your kids?
That's one thing I always get into mind. You know, the moment she can bath herself, she can do anything. She's good. Yeah, she's healthy. And then she starts shitting herself. What am I gonna do now?
That's where the type of a person comes into play. It's not. I feel like Tina, especially our gents, we are attracted most of the times by what we see.
Well, true.
Which is
That's the
which is
first step.
good,
True,
man.
yeah.
Like it's nice to feel good, mavana umuntu wakho.
Yeah.
Yeah, mavana umuntu wakho. Like you have to feel good.
But
Like,
Jets never
yeah,
feel what doesn't.
this is
Oh,
the
yes.
one. She is the
Yeah,
one. But
you know.
now that's long term. That's where personality also comes
Yeah,
in.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maseng is spana. Okay, let's say it happens that angsa spani, maybe we are spana yena.
Yeah.
How is this person gonna treat me?
Ish,
Really?
man. You see, that's another thing.
That's another
And imagine,
thing,
obviously, angeke wazi umuntu based on ukuthi sihlangana kanjani. You know, singahlangana at the groove.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Sihlangana at the groove.
that's why we date before we get married.
Do you understand the concept of dating? Asiqale lapho, because
I
we
don't.
don't generally date. We just change numbers.
I
sihlangana nini.
personally don't. Please educate
Yes.
me, guys. The concept of
Umntu,
dating.
now
I feel like dating. No, man. I feel like dating. I don't believe in dating.
dating, it's
Really,
Okay,
more
really
like
what is
courtship.
dating for you, gents?
getting
Yeah.
to know someone
yeah, and you can never know
And
umuntu fully.
fully. Yeah.
Obviously, you don't even know yourself fully.
Yeah,
most
so the
people
person-
don't.
Like
I
what?
mean, I don't know myself
And
fully.
fully. Yeah.
and the person
yeah.
And
could
I'm probably
fabricate some
gonna
of the
change.
things.
That's it.
That's-
That's where I was getting.
Yeah,
When
the
it comes to
person-
dating,
Mm.
like you can meet someone now,
Yeah.
right? And let's say you like them, right?
Sure.
And only to find out that person is a church goer
Yeah.
every
Sure.
Sunday.
Sure.
You might not necessarily be a church goer every Sunday, but now
Mhm.
because you have to be with this person or you wanna be with this person,
Yeah.
you're gonna pretend as if I'm also a church goer.
You see now.
That's where the dating now becomes fabricated.
Yeah,
Because I've in my past, I've been in situations whereby you go on a date with someone and then they they all of a sudden say, I like someone who's God fearing. And then I'm not God fearing, and then I'm gonna
like,
tell you verse.
Those
You know what I mean?
Don't
shades.
Hey, you don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you're trying
But
to
now,
get into.
but now, Buffett. I mean, after 3-4 months, you must see some clues.
Yeah.
see some.
Some clues, some red flags,
But
nyana.
people pretend well.
Then I'm doing.
Yeah, they do, but
People
I
pretend.
feel like that's
Futhi
where the
where-
spending
where's-
time comes in.
Still,
Yeah.
do like
doing it. Yeah,
people
cannot-
pretend.
people-
People
people
pretend for
respond to-
years.
people
Yeah, no,
respond
that
to
is
what you
true,
give.
bruh.
Yeah.
People respond to what you give. Lento bokhuluma ngathi, do you have to text first?
Mm.
They if Yana she's unable to text you first
Mm.
or call you first,
Mm.
that's another red flag mfethu.
Yes,
For me, because
yeah,
manje I
yeah.
cannot angikwazi ukuhlezi ngikutext every day. Iyangikhathaza that thing. You know, because obviously it bonakala ukuthi you're not even invested in this.
Yeah.
Because manje if I'm able to think about you and text you,
Mm.
and when on the
You're
other hand you are
not.
just quiet,
Yes,
Yeah,
even
it's a
if
problem.
even if ngithole car accident,
Mm.
you'd
But-
never text. You wouldn't
But
know.
gents,
You won't know.
I think again,
Mm.
mhlambe it's the type of relationships that I get in.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to be above that.
Above how? though?
Above who texts first.
Hey,
No,
but
It's, there are more important things than
but
who's
still,
texting
dude,
first.
What's
but
more
still,
important than
it's
that?
the
mfethu?
No, gents.
Mm.
That has to be taken care of.
Mm.
If we are in a relationship for 6 months, we are both comfortable with texting first at this point in
Yeah,
time.
definitely.
Let's move on to getting to know each other on a really personal level now.
Mm.
At the level of
What's the-
Usburu respond kanjani to things that are
What's the real
like
question?
that.
But
How
don't
do
you
you
think?
ask those questions?
Don't you
Because
think?
manje, in order for you to be able to know what to respond to situations,
Mm.
you have to actually be in that situation.
yeah, you have to
Mm.
see Usburu going through situation.
True.
And
But
we are past the level of hey, let me wait for him to text me
Mm.
first. Come on, Buffett. We can't
But
be drama
don't you-
queens and kings in
don't you-
relationships as well.
bye-bye.
Dude,
Things
don't you
happen,
think?
yeah.
Don't you think the small things actually give a clue about the big things?
They
Yeah,
do.
Antoine.
Because if you are, for example, someone that doesn't text first, it says a lot about you. Mhlambe mangaba an accident ukuthi, are you able to assist even there? Because even with the small things, you're not someone to initiate things.
Yeah, Antoine.
You know what I mean? So, like for example, you could be going through a situation where you're depressed now,
Sure.
right? That's a big thing, right?
Sure.
But your girl is not used to texting first. What makes you think she's gonna be there,
Willing to listen to it.
listen to you?
I
or
agree with
recommend?
you, Joe.
Mm.
I agree with you. But
Mm.
Mina, I'm saying we can't be in a 6-month relationship if you
Mm.
don't text. You don't text first as well.
Oh yeah. But you can.
What am I doing with you?
We're
You can-
enjoying the benefits
you
of-
can.
It
you know-
happens. It
we're enjoying the
happens. But
benefits of
then
the relationship.
that is why ngithi my gents
Mm.
asitshintsheni le ngqondo yethu yokuthi I'm with this girl because she's hot.
Yeah, that one.
Let's
You pay heavy price.
forget about
for-
that.
yeah.
That is why Amachi that they stay in relationships
Mm.
where they only text first for 5 years.
Mm.
And the moment
because
you find someone,
He is proud
respond
of
I.
the looks,
Yeah.
and
Looks,
that's enough for
it's,
him.
That's enough. For
I'm not
him.
gonna stay with you if you are a trash person for more than 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I swear.
Yeah. True.
I've dumped someone after 2
3
weeks.
weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks is too much. A day.
I've dumped a person
What
after 2
show?
weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Because I was like, nah, this is not going
This is
where
not
I
for
want
you,
it to
man.
go.
2 weeks is too much. A day.
Sure, fun.
Already-
It's
I
Yeah,
know
if-
you, my
if-
guy. I know you. I know my friend.
It
If
doesn't
already
play.
I see red flags
Yeah.
from the
Gone,
first
fam.
day, I'm
Gone.
gone, Joe.
And then
Like
you
I can't, because you're gonna pay a heavy price for ignoring the
definitely.
red
That is
flags.
why Ngiti, at this age,
Mm.
we are not supposed to be stressing about who's
Hey,
texting first.
we shouldn't.
Hey, man.
Because
We
that's
shouldn't.
we are supposed to figure that out in the first 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Ukuthi, today I said hi,
Mm.
and then afternoon you are gonna say, how was your day? Ukuthi after 6 months you're still struggling about that.
Hey.
Come
Yeah.
on, Buffett.
Yeah.
Ukuthi mangana airtime we don't talk very.
Yo,
It's another
I'd leave.
thing.
Oh, come on.
I'd leave.
That's
I mean,
another
a
thing.
day is-
Now we are
2 weeks
supposed
is
to be
too-
dealing
too
with
much.
Is this person the right person to
Yeah,
raise
no?
children?
Because yeah,
Sesidlulile
because
bo text first.
Mm.
That's the first
Hey,
step.
Yeah.
honestly, in
Caught-
relationships, you pay a heavy price for ignoring the red flags, bro. You know what I
Fine.
mean? You
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
a heavy
yeah,
price.
fine.
Everyone
But I
likes
think
you like him
I
do
think
a
it's
say.
tricky.
Yeah.
Joe.
Mm.
I think it's tricky because again, you know the person is not perfect.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you're trying to balance ukuthi, is this a red flag or is it something that's gonna grow and change?
Oh
Yeah.
So
That's
But-
where
but,
it becomes
if
tricky for
if
me.
it
na
happens for
personally.
more
change
than
by who though? Like when you're saying it's gonna grow and change.
Okay,
or
like-
by,
Obviously, Spuda, 5 years from now you were completely a different guy.
true.
sure.
You grew up and you changed.
Mm.
Yeah.
And maybe some of the things that were quote unquote red flags for some girl have changed and evolved, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
now in relationships sometimes you
But
like,
imagine,
ah,
we
is
always,
it
we
enough
always
of a
grow,
flag?
Sabantu.
We
We
always-
always grow.
always
That's why
grow.
you should. The moment thing flicks are the first red flag, or your girlfriend or girl,
Mhm.
the next girl who's born another red flag. How often am I gonna evolve?
but now are all red flags enough to stop the relationship?
Yo. Yo.
Azikho singazikhuluma maybe so that you can fix it ukuthi, this I don't like, let's try
Yeah,
to
well,
change
lezo,
this.
I feel like it depends because now there are red flags that need to be fixed, and
Sure.
then there are those that need to be
To be dealt
ran away from.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
Like some red flags you need to run away. Like
definitely.
some you can fix. Some red flags can be the case ukuthi mhlambe someone can't speak properly. Like yabo, you address like babes,
Sure.
Maras. I don't
like how you
Indlela
address.
yokukhuluma
like how you-
ngayo.
yeah.
Yeah.
indlela yokukhuluma
Hey,
ngayo.
but red flags to do with selfishness. Hey,
Uyabona ukuthi serial killer leli.
Yo,
I'm
and
running
especially-
away.
Yeah.
and especially how people treat like people that are close to them. Like for example, you can have a girl
Yeah.
that mhlambe treats I don't know, her dad in a particular way, and if you really don't run away from that red flag,
It's coming to you.
it's gonna come
Chief.
to you.
You are
Yeah, it's going
next.
to you.
You have to think, what if
Ten-
this
ten.
girl can do this to her father, then who am I?
Exactly.
I mean, like you know,
bruh.
Who
the
am I?
important
You
bit.
see-
No,
So-
those ones I understand.
they are
but
right.
let's zokuthi, hey, babe, you didn't talk to me the right
Yeah.
way here.
That's
Those
mina
ones
for
are not
me.
big enough.
Ah,
I mean, we can
no,
fix
those
those.
Yeah.
are fixable. You
Yeah,
know,
that's why
you
you
can
should. It's
fix.
something you can talk to. Like,
Mara,
baby, I
let's
don't like it
zokuthi,
so much.
hey, this is how you treat people in
Yeah,
general.
yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Slice-
Imagine
slice
your
that sort.
parents.
Slice
Imagine
that
your
sort.
parents.
Slice that sort.
Imagine your
I mean,
parents.
I
Her
really take.
siblings.
I really take.
How
into
she
account
treats her
those-
siblings is going
Hey,
to tell you a
that's
lot.
important. That's
Yeah.
important because uyabona ukuthi lo muntu if angajikela igazi lakhe kanje when uyini.
Who are you?
Who are you? Like anzalwanga,
Ah,
together.
It takes only 2 blue ticks.
Yo.
Then you are the next one.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying?
Surprise.
The price of not like the price of ignoring red flags. It's heavy.
Yeah, it's
in-
heavy,
in
Joe.
later
Yeah,
on
no?
because
And
now
it-
it becomes even really sad. When there's like things like marriage in the picture,
Sure.
kids in the picture. You know what I mean?
ne?
If you're gonna get like someone who's selfish and you don't take into account that red flag, later
Yeah.
on that person is gonna be selfish towards your own kids,
Yeah.
your own family.
Yeah,
Imagine
man.
your own
Now you're
kids.
paying a heavy price, and you know
Ah,
what I mean.
gents persevere in the name of she's beautiful.
Ish, yeah, true. I've seen
Yup.
a lot of.
I've
but,
seen a lot
but
of those
w-
as
when,
well.
when it, they,
You
they-
guys have experiences, Buffett.
And I think it's good.
luckily, yeah, luckily,
Yeah,
you
we
guys
learn
are sharing
from
with me.
this.
Luckily, I haven't, experienced that.
True.
Yeah, I've
True.
seen guys. I'm like, yo,
Mm.
this guy's suffering
Mm.
only in the name of amachitazothini masengilahla lo mntana.
Some
Hey,
some
dog.
are suffering.
Angena
in
up,
silence.
Amachet.
Hey,
Except
Fethu.
Amachet angena up, Buffett.
Hey,
Ish.
Hey,
Fethu.
if as much as I talk to you about everything, at some point with mangithatha decision, mina, ay Buffett, ngicela ningiyeke ngithathe decision yami. If I die, I die.
But do you think guys generally give good advice though, like relationships wise?
Depends.
Some guys.
Depend on the nature of friendship. And now, if we are honest enough, mina now, and now I can talk to you about anything. I can tell you it doesn't. Okay, imagine if this
But
is
on let's say on a general basis, I feel like a stranger can also give you
a
the best
proper
advice.
advice.
I feel like guys generally give each other good advice because I've seen guys tend to like look out for each other.
Sure,
right? They
sure,
tend to look out for
definitely.
even if I remember one time I was accompanying my mom to her lawyers, right? And
Sure.
then suddenly this guy, Baba Joe, like he just saw it fit to start telling me his problems, and for him it felt comfortable. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He doesn't know me, nothing. I'm
Yeah.
still young. I don't even know about divorce, but
Yeah.
there's this guy telling me, and whatever I was telling him, he was actually taking into account. Which, hey, Mara, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Because I'm generally looking out
I
for
think
each other.
it comes with
But
immaturity as
for-
well, because
for-
some people bafune advice, but not necessarily good bafune advice.
Mhm.
I think this is why gents normally give each other advice.
Mm.
Amachita, we don't like complaining a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
When someone complains, you know it's serious.
Yeah,
Uspura magaring, I know it's serious.
True.
then you.
But do guys talk? That's a problem. Those guys
Not
bafela
often.
ngaphakathi.
Depends on the
Not
nature
often.
again of a friendship.
Mm.
If I'm comfortable enough to tell you, it doesn't fit. This is the situation in Hamba England,
Mm.
and I know it's safe with you. Then I am generally going to be comfortable with telling you what's happening in my relationship. You know,
Yeah.
But-
even in my personal life.
Do you think people also take into account the person that they're taking the advice from? Because I personally,
Yeah, ne?
if I'm married, right, I wouldn't take advice from a single guy. If you're single, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't
This
even.
guy-
Depends, Joe.
What if I have a
wouldn't.
If Vuyo
You know, the person that
is
takes-
a thinker in general,
I disagree.
I think
yeah?
I might not do exactly what he says, but I'm gonna consider some
What
of the
I
stuff that he
wouldn't.
says.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, honestly.
Why?
You can
Why?
be a thinker.
Why, Joe?
Because you don't know, like, talking about something and actually living that something is two
Yeah.
different things. Because you can be a thinker, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
As a general thinker, or let's say you're a good thinker who is in the best interest of happiness, for example. So you as a thinker, when I'm asking for advice and saying, Ish, I'm not happy in my marriage, you're going to say as a thinker, hey, your happiness comes first.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But generally, is it really that easy to leave a marriage?
No, it's not.
not.
See,
not.
so that's why I wouldn't take
It's-
So
advice
much
from
when
you.
Marriage, I
you
don't
wanna go
think-
for experience now.
I really experience is good, like good and bad experience. You know what I mean? Like for
Yeah.
example, when I'm having
Hey, Mara, some
marriage-
guys with experience give you toxic advice.
Yeah.
true.
And
true.
abanye
Because
zoba-
like we all know, every guy knows that one guy that really hates women passionately
you are-
because of
I'd-
experience
I'd
as well.
take advice from that guy. You know why I'd say
I
that?
wouldn't,
Why?
Joe.
I'd take it. You know why?
Why?
We learn a lot. You learn a lot from a game you lose than a game you win. So someone who's
but that's
divorced can tell you.
theoretical.
But,
No, but even
sometimes people.
let me make it
Yeah,
practical.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I remember one of the best advices I got from like someone who just like about marriage was someone who just got divorced.
Yeah.
That person highlighted the good things and the bad things in the relationship and
Sure.
why it didn't like happen to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
Sure.
like
Do you mind
ending it.
sharing? Do you mind sharing some?
Okay, so this guy was saying his wife brought the best out of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He learned a lot from himself and stuff. But he was able to be honest and say, you know what, when it comes to like stuff like attention, he wasn't getting enough attention
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the wife. So
Ah.
it ended up to him, like he started cheating and everything like that, where like mhlambe, let's say if the wife is away for like 6 months, he would actually find someone just ozomhlekisa in that time being,
see,
you know. So when eventually
before
when
you
the
continue-
marriage,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
before you continue. You see the thing with texting,
yeah,
attention?
it comes back.
Yeah.
It
The
comes
moment
back.
you don't get that attention, what happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you see with him,
Yeah.
eventually got to a divorce, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting and thinking, okay, if I'm in a marriage and now I'm not getting attention, that guy's marriage ended because
he wasn't getting attention.
he wasn't getting attention and then he started cheating. So how do I fix it? You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
learning from his mistake.
But I'm a red flags who are born a good relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get
Before
married,
you even get married, the
We are
red
born
flags, we
with-
see them there. We are born with doesn't.
okay, when
This
this
is,
person
you know,
is
Don't like
busy,
don't stay because of the looks.
Yeah, don't. But
Because
guys, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is
yeah,
you shouldn't really ignore like advice from like someone who
yeah,
lost. Like you can learn a lot from someone
Okay.
who just lost
makes sense now.
than someone who like I feel
does
like
make sense.
when growing up I used to get advice. I used to want advice from people who are winning.
Yeah, but
But
you know
Yeah,
what
but,
my
yeah.
problem
people who are
is.
Yeah.
winning don't necessarily give that good advice. It's like social media, bro. You know,
Sure.
social
Yes.
media doesn't portray people's struggles. It portrays their wealth.
Their
Yeah,
wins.
yeah.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Success.
Like you can get someone now who's let's say a qualified doctor,
Yeah.
right? On their bio, they don't even mention what I'm a medical doctor or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, their lifestyle is so nice, it's lavish,
Sure.
right? And
Yeah.
when you want to take advice from that person, but you don't know what that person was spending sleepless nights at the
fun.
library.
Yeah,
You
but
know, that's the thing.
Yes,
Ukuthi
Mina,
manje-
what was my
Okay.
my problem with people who with taking people who taking advice from people who lost
Yeah.
is that okay? I think I should have added some nuances. Some people who lose give really good advice,
Yeah.
and I think it's because it's abantu abanjalo, they are sometimes able to look at themselves as part of the problem as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people who lose fail to do
They
that.
blame the other party.
It's
Okay.
always because
But
girls are like this.
But
What about what did you do and how
Yeah.
did you
Yeah.
contribute?
Because obviously now
to the
now
problem.
you have it.
Because I can only change myself in these situations. When Zayn that I must not do.
Yeah.
But I
But
think
when
that's
now
up
you're
to you to
pointing
pick up
fingers.
then. Because have you when you talk about this, ne, and you're saying that most people lose are to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
When someone is talking, right, I feel like it's in you to actually find out why they are in that situation.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
have you ever been in a situation whereby someone is venting, bruh? Like you're actually thinking as like, and deep down you're like, but this guy, surely you're the problem.
It's you.
You are.
Like Ati, for example, you hear a guy saying, I can't text, and then you realize and then you're just thinking, okay,
How is he?
How is
but-
she gonna
yeah,
text?
you know what I mean? You're like thinking, this guy, you're talking about a
that's
problem,
damn,
he's
that's-
venting, but he's actually the
And
problem.
you're like she cheats, and then you are calling some other girl. I'm like, Kamara,
Aibo,
you're doing it
Chief,
too.
wow.
Chief.
You are
Chief,
doing the
that's-
same thing.
Exactly.
Basically, but there's this thing. I think very people
Mm.
even better to enact boni makopo or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
what
yeah,
does
yeah,
that
yeah.
mean?
It means go to you don't see your own flaws.
Oh,
But you-
Iqaqa liziza ukunuka kwalo.
That's it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
it's true.
You
bro.
know,
I've,
and
I've seen so many people who are like that. Like they vent, but you realize,
Because
you're
hey,
the
yeah,
problem.
You were the
Bruh.
problem.
You
So
are the
sometimes
problem.
that's why it's hard for me to listen to those guys because most of them are really bitter as well. It's hard to
Yeah.
take advice from a bitter person.
But don't you think you've grown from that? Because you're saying, I feel like as much as you're saying you don't take advice from those kind of people, but for you to actually conclude on that, you had to like actually listen to them,
Yeah.
and then they talk.
and then they talk, and then
That
you're
is
like,
why I said.
Yeah,
That is why I said the condition is: are you introspective enough?
Because kumele uzibheke nawe phakathi uthi
If you are
How-
able
how
to
did
tell
I
me,
even-
Twala, don't do this because that's what I did. Then you lost and you learned a lesson. Then I can learn
yeah,
the
and
lesson as well.
one thing I've realized about people who lost is that they don't give up. As much as they lost, they have to
Yeah, gents, we
Yeah.
have to come to a close.
time
Just
keepers,
finish up your points. and then we close.
timekeepers. You know, like that's why usually most losers they look at themselves and they
Mm.
go and work on themselves
Mm.
before actually going to the next goal. If I
That's
try,
that's
if
that's
I-
how you lose.
yeah.
That's the right way to lose.
if I try business model, man,
Mm.
it doesn't work. The moment it doesn't work, I go back to the drawing board. I look at the method, and then I try and fix it. Try and get a new method, or try and reinvent that old method.
True,
Sure.
true.
That's
yeah.
business wise,
That-
even
well,
life wise. Yeah,
It's a principle that applies to life in general.
Yeah, it does. But most people are not willing to swallow
so
that hard
this won't
pill.
end.
Yeah,
Because I know my friend.
Yeah, we talk too much.
know my
Now
friend.
we shall
All of
finish
us
this
talk too
conversation,
much.
eh?
So,
Yeah, we'll finish it another time.
now I think I wanted to call Usbu for Ilan Dileman. Financial thingies.
Oh yeah.
He's more-
We are gonna bring him back for
Yeah,
something like
Yeah.
that.
So
You working the man.
yeah,
You have to
we-
tell us.
yeah, he should tell us.
I'll try.
Yeah,
No,
because-
I'll be.
Because I think one of the things like Melissa's Bonuti, black people need to be financially educated.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
have to.
yeah,
We
true.
have to be
and from
responsible
people who
for
are in the
spreading that.
industry and people who are, I don't know, people who have experience in that field. You know? So
mm.
I think you're one of the good people that could give us pure and honest advice.
Wow.
Yeah, let's just set a date for that
Mhm.
after
Yeah,
we
no,
switch
I
off
will
these
talk.
mics,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then-
and then we'll talk about that.
But
But it was
again,
a good chat,
it was
gents.
a nice
a
chat,
good
man. Like,
chat.
go, it's you.
I
Thanks
think
for
what,
having me, gents.
one
No
thing
worries, man.
that this podcast does for me, and I hope for the people who are listening, conversations like this
Yeah,
sometimes are spontaneous, and
yeah.
It is.
we try to force them to happen, and that's a good thing
That's the
because
thing.
we have them
but
more
that's what
often.
we said on the first episode, Mas, which is, and this is basically what we want to do.
Yeah.
You know, we generally don't like having a more conversation. We're having conversation on behalf of other people.
Sure.
So the conversation, just see, kuluma, probably it's something you were thinking, and you're like, I don't have people
Yeah.
to talk to around. You know, you have to question your cycle now again.
That's why you must comment.
Yeah, comment and subscribe
And like.
and you know, follow us on our socials as well at the
Yeah, man.
Symposium Podcast.
Yeah, guys.
And you can find Sbusiso on Instagram as
Sbusiso _Ace. Sbusiso without an I.
yeah, and then on Facebook
Sbusiso Ace Twala.
you want to give them a WhatsApp number? Yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you on the next episode of the Symposium podcast. Enjoy.
See.